Hey everybody, it's Olivia Rondo back at you again with yet another PolitiBrawl reaction video. Today I got something a little bit different for you guys. My friend Matt Miller is out on these streets of Washington, D.C. interviewing the crazy libs out on the streets doing their little whatever protests they want to do, and it seems like they just hate America and hate everything about this place. So I think we should just get right into it because this one's going to be a doozy as usual. Roll the tape.
Message to Kilmar Abrego Garcia, if you could tell them something.
Hang tough. Hang tough. We're from Maryland. Hang tough.
Do you want him to come back?
Absolutely. Hang tough.
Okay, so already I need to stop it right there. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is not from Maryland, y'all. I know it's such a shocking thing to say because he came here illegally and he's been here illegally since he was 16 or 17 years old. He's not from Maryland. He never was from Maryland. He should not be returned to Maryland. Not one, but two separate immigration judges ruled that he is a member of the violent El Salvadoran gang MS-13. He has since been deported back to his real home of El Salvador. And the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, has said, we ain't giving him back. So I'm sorry, you guys are protesting at the wrong place. You guys should be, I mean, maybe they should follow Senator Chris Van Hollen's suit and go protest in El Salvador, because you're not going to get him back by protesting over here. He's home, y'all. He's home. And I'm also from Maryland, so I find this highly offensive because Chris Van Hollen went to El Salvador to protest and to try to get Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to Maryland when he's not a constituent, he's not a citizen, he's hopefully never voted in a United States election, so he's not a constituent. We owe these people nothing. We don't owe accused gang members or proven gang members anything, especially when they don't come into this country legally. Now we can cry and whine about, oh, due process. If you don't give us due process coming into this country, why should we owe you due process when we send your ass back, when we send you packing? And then another thing is Van Hollen and all these Maryland Democrats are crying over this guy who also his wife alleged him of brutally beating her in 2021. Let's not forget that. And let's also not forget that he was pulled over by the Tennessee State Patrol in 2022, I believe, with about 8 other people in his car coming up from the border, transporting them to Maryland. So he's also an alleged human trafficker or human smuggler. He might be a coyote, but this is a state just a couple counties over, actually, where Rachel Morin, a 37-year-old mother of 5, was raped and bludgeoned to death just a couple years ago. And just a couple weeks ago, her killer, another Salvadoran MS-13 member, was found guilty. And has Van Hollen reached out to her mother, Patty Morin? Nope. She has reached out in the media. She has reached out, emailed, called, sent letters to his office. You know, these people, they don't care about Americans. They don't care about American women, especially because, you know, we're disproportionately the victims of violent migrant crime when these MS-13 people with no morals come here. Anyways, we're only 10 seconds into this, so I'm going to try to get through it because I'm already pissed off. Sorry, let's go.
It's wrong. It's unconstitutional. Let's hope the Supreme Court saves him.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia, what would you tell him?
If I was talking to him personally, hold on, we're coming.
You want him back?
Oh, hell yeah.
We're fighting for you.
We've absolutely not forgotten you, and the whole propaganda about him being affiliated with MS-13 is false, and we know that.
You definitely want him to return to the United States and live here?
He has committed no crime as far as we are aware, and even if he did, he was not afforded due process.
What is your message to Patty Morin?
I'm not familiar with Patty Morin. Can you educate me?
Yeah, did you guys see her at the White House earlier this week? She was the mother of Rachel, or she is the mother of Rachel Morin, who was raped and killed by an illegal immigrant.
Patty Morin, whose beautiful daughter Rachel was brutally maimed and murdered at the hands of an illegal alien in August of 2023. Patty no longer has her daughter because of the failed Democrat Party's open border.
And Caroline Levitt, the press secretary, brought her in front of...
Girl at UGA?
No, that was Laken Riley.
Oh, right.
Okay, so here's the thing. Every country has bad people, but there are countries with less resources who have the ability to restrain those bad people. There are always going to be crime. There's always, and I don't excuse that. That is unacceptable, but there needs to be a serious, like a systemized process for letting people come into this country and being able to see, like, okay, who's got a record, who's got this, so that people like Kilmar who just want to live their life peacefully and without threat can come into this country.
And after decades of destabilizing the global South, are we really surprised that some people from the...
Stop. these are also people from Maryland. Wait, is this protest in Maryland? Maybe this protest is in Maryland, not DC. Anyways, we have all these Marylanders, white liberal Marylanders, might I add, begging for this third world gang member, to be honest, to come back to this country. And then she just said something so ironic. There should be a system that people follow so we can vet to see if they have a criminal record. Kilmar didn't follow that system. Kilmar was not vetted when he came into this country illegally. He only applied for asylum when he was an adult. So at that point, he had been in this country illegally for several years. And you can't get asylum after you've been in this country for several years. So his asylum was denied. The only thing that you could say that the government did wrong in this instance was when his asylum was denied, they gave him basically withholding removal to El Salvador. So he was 100% deportable and removable, should not have been in this country. The mistake was that they put him on a plane back to El Salvador. That did, according to the Trump administration, that was inadvertent, and that did go against the court order there. But he's home, is my opinion, and I really don't care if he got the due process, because he came into this country, and it's my belief that the allegations of criminal activity are true.
After decades of destabilizing the global south, are we really surprised that some people from the global south are now here causing, are here like trying to escape the problems that we caused?
So, is this your message for Patty Morin, though? Because that's what I asked, the mother of somebody who was murdered and raped.
My message for Patty Morin is that everybody should be afforded due process, even people who commit crimes.
What is your message to Patty Morin?
To who?
To Patty Morin. Do you know who that is?
I'm not sure.
See how nobody knows who Patty Morin is? Even if you're not super tuned into politics, which these people clearly are because they're out here protesting, you should at least know Rachel's name. You should at least know Rachel Morin's name. You should at least, I guess props to one of the girls who said, is that the girl from UGA, that's a completely different victim. That was Laken Riley, who was killed by a man who is accused to have ties to the Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. Different circumstance, but similar outcomes. She was sexually assaulted and murdered while she was going on a run near the University of Georgia's campus. So, but see how it happens so often. Like they don't even care anymore. All right, let's roll it again.
Who that is?
She was at the White House earlier this week with Caroline Leavitt. The mom.
Yeah. I think she was used. I think she was misinformed.
Better anger over what had happened.
And I don't put it, this administration takes advantage of people's, when they're at their weakest.
Do you think that the open border that we had before the Trump administration has anything to do with cases like that? Or Laken Riley, for instance, you know her?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, we have a border problem, have had one, but we live in a world here where people want to come here because we have a better life here.
What is your message to Patty?
Oh my God, we have a better life here in America. Oh my God, why don't we just let everybody in then? Like, what is the logic here? What is the logic? Literally, what is the logic? The irony never fails to escape me when it is women who are overwhelmingly the ones who have all this emotional empathy, endless empathy for accused gang members and for illegal migrants, when we are the ones that are targeted, when we're walking on a hiking trail, when we're getting in the car parking lot. Like these are when women are approached, hotspots for when women are approached and sexually assaulted, raped, robbed, and so on. And we just want to import more because, we have a better life here. Lady, I don't know how to put this in a nice way. We have a better life in America because we are Americans. There's an American way of life. There's things that we should and should not tolerate. Historically, we don't tolerate gang members just running amok. Historically, we don't have a huge problem at the border. Thank you to the Biden administration for allowing everybody and their mother to come in unchecked and everything. And Kilmar did, to her point, I guess, Kilmar came in before the Biden administration. But it's like, why are we having cognitive dissonance about why life in America is better? It's not better because we have millions of third world illegal migrants. I'll put it that way. Let's roll it again.
Morin. Do you know who Patty Morin is? She was at the White House earlier this week.
No, I don't know who she is.
Caroline Levitt brought her up. She's the mother of Rachel Morin, who was raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant. What would your message to her be?
You know, there are a lot of things that happen, unfortunately, to people, but one individual is not the basis to act against the Constitution.
You have to maintain due process, otherwise the whole thing collapses. And that's what's happened.
Really? So the whole thing is collapsing right now because we sent an illegal migrant gang member back home. It's like people in Maryland are actually ruining Maryland. It is like all these really insulated, privileged, wealthy, white Democrats who don't have to deal with this level of crime in their communities, and they think that, oh, well, sometimes bad things just happen to people. It's just a fluke. Bad things just happen to people. It's coming to a neighborhood near you, ma'am. It's like if have them in your house then. If you want all these illegal migrants to come here to have a better life, have them in your house then. You know, don't cry when something happens to you or your daughter. Idiots. All right, let's continue because I'm actually getting heated.
Okay. Yeah. That's what you would tell. Is that what you would tell Patty Morin, though? If you could tell her something?
Fingers crossed.
Two wrongs don't make a right, too. I mean, there's a lot of bad going on.
What about Laken Riley's family? Do you know who Laken Riley is?
I don't think so. Oh, we do. We don't.
She was a Georgia nursing student who was murdered.
It's the same question,
Yeah.
sir. You know, I mean, we could name a bunch of people that things happen, but you know, that person didn't die because the President of the United States disregarded due process.
Well, it's
The
because
President is not above the law, and the President personally didn't do any of those things, but the
Laken Riley and Rachel Morin died because migrants were let in to this country and we did not have due process to get them out on time. And unfortunately, very unfortunately, they were both sexually assaulted and murdered by accused and confirmed gang members from Central America. I like don't understand the logic here at all. Like, have some empathy. How about have empathy for American girls and women instead of freaking gang members?
President is doing this.
the president at the time, Biden, had a wide open border, let in millions of people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We don't need to continue this
Okay.
because you're just being controversial because it's apples and oranges.
We just have different ideas and just kind of asking questions and just having a conversation.
Yeah, you can have different ideas, but to compare that is wrong. You know, I
You
can
don't think
pull
that's
out-
related at all?
No, I don't. I'm trying to say there's a lot of bad things that happen, but it's a lot different when the President of the United States totally disregards the Constitution. And Joe Biden did not do that.
What is your message to Patty Morin, who was at the White House earlier this week?
To who?
Patty Morin, the mother of Rachel Morin.
I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't have that.
Rachel Morin was raped and killed by an illegal immigrant, and her mom, Patty Morin, came to the White House to tell.
yeah.
Did you see that earlier on Wednesday? I think it was. What would be your message to her?
Was Kilmar the one that did it?
No.
Well, then that would be my message to her. Kilmar didn't kill her daughter, and the two shouldn't be tied together.
Would you tell her sorry?
It's funny how they keep saying the two shouldn't be tied together. They're both members of the same gang. Are we ignoring that? They're both Salvadoran nationals who entered the country illegally, both with affiliation with MS-13. I don't know how it can get more connected than that. Did they personally know each other? I'm not making that argument, but they're part of the same criminal organization, which, as you know, has been now designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Ridiculous. And this guy, I'm sure he has a daughter or a granddaughter out there somewhere that he just doesn't care because, you know, he thinks that she should just be forced to live amongst these people.
Would you tell her, I'm sorry what happened to your daughter, that we should have controlled the border better so that we didn't let in a criminal that did that?
What was that last part?
So that we didn't let in a criminal who killed and raped her daughter.
We didn't let in a criminal who killed and raped her daughter.
Yeah, should we have controlled the border better? Would you say something like that to her?
I don't know the details of how the guy got there.
It is a simple fact that Donald Trump has committed more crimes than Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Abrego Garcia was arrested in a Home Depot parking lot in 2019 alongside MS-13 members, confirmed.
I've seen no evidence for that.
It's an arrest record. It's the police department in Maryland.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right. He's got tattoos as well that indicate that.
Oh, so everybody with tattoos gets deported now.
Well, if you have a gang tattoo, that indicates that you have affiliation to that gang.
Why are we bringing that up now? It's really just about you don't want these people in our country.
I don't want MS-13 members in this country.
No,
So is everyone
you don't want Latin Americans in our country.
75.
You don't want Latin Americans in our
Do you
country.
realize
Let's be honest.
there's
I'm half Puerto Rican.
And I started geeking when she said that because I know Matt is Puerto Rican, so that is so funny. And I don't presume to know these ladies' ethnic background, but they don't look Latin American. I think Matt looks more Latin. I think that was kind of obvious, but let's go.
Okay.
I am a Latin American.
People who are harmed by MS-13. Why would he want to be a part of that?
I don't know. I don't know why anyone would want to be a part of a violent gang or a terrorist
I believe
organization.
you're a subject of misinformation. I really do, and I apologize.
Likewise. Why do you think you know Kilmar Abrego Garcia but not Patty Morin? Do you know who Laken Riley is, too?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think you know
Why
one,
do you
not the
keep
other?
trying to conflate these issues? They're not the same. You're trying to conflate the issues.
I think they're related.
Well, I don't.
Hey, wait, hold on.
I don't.
Excuse me. Hey, whoa, don't touch. Do not touch me.
Whoa. That's all I had to say. Let's keep going, because I honestly want Matt to knock this guy out already, but let's keep going.
Do not touch me.
Aren't you that guy?
You're trying to conflate the issues.
I'm trying to have
that's what they do every time.
Let's have a debate. Let's have a good debate. That's all I'm trying to do.
Hold on. Aren't you?
What do you want?
You're that,
Don't grab me.
You're a Peterson guy, right? The guy who posted that milking video, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're Jordan Peterson, aren't you?
I'm Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, aren't you?
No.
Then who are you?
Oh, he's like 6.
What? First, what? I'm really confused. Does he genuinely think that's Jordan Peterson? Jordan Peterson is literally like 70 years old and he's Canadian. His accent is completely different. Even if you've only listened to like his podcast or something, he doesn't sound it at all. Okay, I'm really confused. Let's keep going.
He's 70 years old.
Wait, then who are you? Then who are you? Are you that
All right.
Shapiro guy, right?
Thanks. Basically, both deal with illegal immigration and the open border from Democrats.
Those are two different cases.
No, but like, who are you then?
And if you're talking about illegal immigrants coming in and killing people, look at the crime rate of undocumented workers in America versus the crime rate of American citizens. Okay? American citizens have much.
The crime rate of undocumented workers in America is probably about 100% because everybody committed a crime when they either entered the country illegally or overstayed their visa. I don't understand that point. This man in the gray shirt in the background is staring at me with a black soul. I find his eyes very disturbing, and he is very disturbing. Like, it's almost like he's not on his medication. I hope he doesn't do anything. Let's keep going.
Higher crime rates on murder and everything else than undocumented workers. You know why? Because undocumented workers don't want to draw attention to themselves.
Yeah, most of them are great people and they're hardworking people. But when we let in millions of people, we don't vet them and know who they are. Criminals, cartel members, and terrorists can get in.
Compare the crime rate of the undocumented to the documented people in America, and you'll find that the undocumented are much better citizens than the people that are born here.
Do we have the right to control our border, though?
See, that's just BS. Let me just say, this guy hates America. He hates Americans. He's saying that undocumented, illegal people, however you want to say it, are better than Americans. All right, continue.
Every other country?
Inflate issues? No, you don't.
Do you have the right to answer a question?
You. Get the hell out of here.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
But seriously, who are you?
I'm good, thanks.
The president can't deport
What do you think? Do not touch me.
Why not?
Hey, get the f*** off.
Look, I just want to know who you are.
Do not touch me again. We're gonna have a problem.
Like, dude, you're like, you got like, what the
What are you trying to do right now? You trying to start a problem? We're backing away. We're leaving.
We're walking away from you and you're following us.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have like 3 feet on me.
Oh my god, let me stop before this. So, I do jujitsu with Matt. Like, Matt can kick some butt. So, I'm really scared. I hope it doesn't come to that. What's gonna happen? Oh god.
Yeah, so what?
We don't want violence.
Put
We don't want violence. Twice you put your hands on me, dude.
Dude,
you gotta keep your distance. Why do you keep getting closer to me? Come on.
What are you expecting to do? Why are you being
Secret Service over.
Do not want to get into a violent altercation. You twice have put your hands on me, which is going to lead to that. You're being confrontational, you're being aggressive. You need to leave. You need to stop.
You really can't stop me from following you.
We have assault from you on camera.
Dude, you have like 2 feet on me, 2 times the muscle, and I have my hands in my pockets.
That does not give you the right to attack me.
I didn't attack you.
You did. Now get out of here. If I go up to the police and show them that video, you're going to get arrested.
Are you going to do that?
If you don't leave us alone, I will.
What am I doing to you?
I don't know. Are you an idiot or something? What's your problem? I just told you what you did.
Oh my god. Okay. Thank God that the video ended. I hope nothing bad happened after that clip. I think we got a good array of what is happening on the left. I really do think we got a good, just kind of mix of personality disorders, mental illness, so on and so forth. It is just really beautiful to see such a perfect example. Like you get a handful of a bowl of Skittles or something. They're all different colors. You just get a perfect array of every single archetype of white Maryland liberal on this. Somebody who wants to be violent and stop the interviews from happening. Somebody who says, get the hell out of here. People who don't know what the heck they're talking about. People who make false claims without even reading the news, saying that he has never committed a crime. He's never been accused of any crime. He has. Kilmar has. The lengths that people will go to defend non-citizen gang members of a criminal terrorist organization, is just insanity. I think one thing that is glaringly missing from this video, I see some signs that are in Spanish, but I see mostly white liberals here. I don't see a huge outpour of support from the Salvadoran community here. I think that is worth noting, very funny, because it's people who have no idea what living in a country like that is like. Now it's relatively safe. Now it's the safest country in South America, maybe even lower crime rate than the United States because of President Bukele's really hardline stance to get rid of essentially everybody, not get rid of, but lock up everybody with a gang affiliated tattoo. And people are crying saying, oh, it's not due process, it's not due process. When you let a country, when the previous leaders of El Salvador let the country get that bad, to the point where almost every single teenage boy was being actively recruited by a gang and they had no choice but to join it, something drastic had to be done. So, I give my support to Bukele. I give my support to ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement in this country. Support goes to Matt because he has more courage than I do to go into really hostile environments like this where weak little soy-infested beta males try to take his mic and slap him on the back and follow him around and saying, it's not illegal, I can just follow you anywhere. Like, that's ridiculous. It's so funny how mad random liberal men will get, and then at the slightest pushback of somebody who actually has testosterone, they just oh, are you gonna tell the police? So yeah, that's that's kind of all the reaction I have for you guys right now, because that honestly did upset me as a woman from Maryland. I have a younger sister, I have a mom, I have both grandmas live in Maryland, my aunt lives in Maryland. They could easily be victimized by an illegal migrant. Thank God we have guns. Thank God we have the Second Amendment. God bless America, y'all. What do you guys think of that interview? What do you guys think of Matt's interview skills? I'm kind of impressed how calm he stayed at the end. Put it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to PolitiBrawl and stay tuned for more reaction videos.